First of all, good evening.
Yeah.
Wait, where's the?
First of all, good evening. Great start, chap. What a start. My man's left the... Oh, okay. Put it there for now.
Hello.
Are you going to show me a nice thing first?
Muscle Dance Corporation.
Where's your tie? If he got his tie, God knows.
Hello everybody and welcome to the second ever Martial Darts Corporation Dave Marshall Darts Invitational Draw
2023.
2022
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
for this summer.
Go on.
Today we will be doing the draw, as I've just said. Lewis will be picking the Le Peeps. Josh will be picking the games they will be playing in. This is how it will go. There are 16 players drawn into two pots. Pot 1, which is the 8 best players based on the previous two tournaments, and pot 2, which is the bottom 8 players. So the top 8 players, the top 4 are Uncle David, also known as David the Bulldog Marshall, Lewis the Liverbird Marshall, me, Charlie the McRammy Marshall, and Dave the Legend Marshall.
Surprise appearance in the top 4 for the boy.
The next highest 4, which go into the top 8 seeds, are Tracy 2 Tracy Marshall. Tracy 2 Tracy Marshall.
Tracy 2 Tracy.
What's the other one?
You've got Josh.
Josh.
Uncle David.
The Rake. No. Uncle Aunt Jesus.
Uncle Aunt, sorry, yeah.
And Frankie the Door Marshall.
And everybody else is
Thanks to his exceptional work and my exceptional checking out in the doubles.
And his 80, and the 80 quid you gave him as well.
So we will draw out the top 4 seeds, as I've just mentioned, and they will go into 4 separate quarters. So quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. They will go into match 1, match 3, match 5, and match 7. Then the next 4 highest seeds will be drawn out, and they will go into 4 separate quarters as well.
But can't play the first
Game
4.
2, Game 4, Game 6, and Game 8. They cannot face a top 4 seed until the second round. Then the final bottom 8 will be drawn out at random, and then their game will be dropped out at random. So, for example, if Joe was to be drawn out, and then Josh was to pick out Game 7, he would go into quarter 4, Game 7, against the top 4 seed. So that is how the draw works. So we will now get on with the draw.
So these, the top 4 seeds. That's all right, I can do it. I've got...
Hold on, let me check.
This is my brother.
Yeah, I know. It's full blood though, it's only half my blood. I'm kidding, of course you're my brother. Is that correct? Oh, right, good. Right, so, first one. First out the hat.
Going into Game 1.
Is your
no, we don't know that
Is
yet.
your boy, the legend, Dave Marshall.
So now we will see what quarter he is going into. So Josh, if you may pick.
Josh, want my little...
No, it's alright. Leave it. I'm sure they can hear.
Yeah. Good point. I'm going to do it to please Charlie. Kidding, it's very smart.
I know.
There we go with what's this?
Open it up,
quarter
mate.
in it. Yeah.
Open it up.
Quarter 1.
Quarter 1. So
You're in quarter 1, my friend. You don't know who you're facing yet, though.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah. Get player 2.
No, I'm going to put it back in and...
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
The Bulldog, David Marshall.
The Bulldog, David Marshall. What quarter will he go into?
If I can open it. Quarter 4.
So he cannot face Grandad until the final.
No.
Because we're in separate parts of the draw.
Next player out.
How many times you folded these?
20.
Good hell. The Ram. Ronaldo.
McRammy. Thanking you. What quarter will I go into?
Me and you can't get in the same quarter. We can't get in the same semis. Why are you high-fiving me, you weirdo?
Quarter 3.
Quarter 3, which means I cannot face Grandad until the final.
Which means I can face Grandad.
Which means, just to do like legalities, can you draw out the final person?
Yeets.
And that one should be quarter 2.
Should be.
The Liverbird, Lewis Marshall.
Amazing.
Maze.
Surprise, surprise.
Quarter 2.
Bloody hell, that was a shock, that, mate, wasn't it?
So now it's the next 4 players.
So now we're going to know who else is going to who's going to get into the four different quarters. Who's going to face who, basically. Just need to explain what the means.
So the next ones will be drawn out. We'll go into their quarters will be drawn out again, and they will go in the other game in the quarter. So they will not face the players just drawn out. They will go into the other half of that quarter.
Frankie the Door.
Frankie the Door goes into whose quarter? Please be 3.
I don't want fucking Josh. Sorry.
Quarter 2.
Lewis's.
I knew I'd get you. I fucking knew it. Sorry.
Excuse me?
We apologise at home for any foul language you have heard.
Mate, I always get you, don't I? I always get you. It's weird.
It's been 2 draws, babes.
Still always get him.
3 drawnaments and
Frank,
3
I'll
drawnaments.
let you win so you can go beat him later on, yeah?
Oh.
So I don't face Frankie, but I could face him in the semis.
In the quarters, yeah.
If I go through my, yeah.
In the quarter.
Right, the next draw. Jesus, Anthony,
Anthony.
Peter Wright Marshall. I wanted to come out with a snake bite helmet on.
Peter, right. Goes into quarter.
Open it, that is. Quarter 1.
With Grandad. So Grandad and Uncle Ant could meet in the quarterfinals.
Could meet.
Grandad's route to the final is looking
Tough. As it stands.
Lewis's is looking piss easy.
No, don't be horrible to Franks. 2 Dark Tracy.
Upside down, babes. Oh,
No, it's not.
Sorry,
You
that's my
slid.
fault. That's my fault. Goes into quarter.
Who faces 2 Dark Tracy? It could be Uncle David or it could be Charlie. Potentially in
Quarter
the...
4.
Uncle David could get her in the quarters. Which means Josh gets Charlie. Oh my God.
Which means Uncle David, Tracy, possible quarterfinal. However, they still have to win their first round games.
And finally
going into quarter 3 with me is
Josh the Rake.
now this is very good. It is a practice draw.
Nibble. That's going to be a cracking quarter-final, that is, I'll tell you straight out.
I always get a tough quarter. I had Uncle David last year, the winner. Now I have
shut
Joshy.
up moaning.
I had the eventual final.
Hey, you've got to beat the best,
Yeah,
win the best, is that what I'm saying?
Beat the best to win.
Right, so now we're drawing the bottom 8 seeds at random.
Also
and they'll be
known
assigned.
as the 8 players in the family that are absolutely trash.
Alright.
I hope you lose to one of them now.
Yeah. Good if you get knocked out in the first round.
Right, Girthquake, Lucas Marshall.
Earthquake Lucas Marshall will be against. Will be in game number
2.
his father, Uncle Ant.
Alright.
Wow. Uncle Ant versus Lucas. Richard,
Sorry, I just saw
the Toucan, Marshall. Father.
Monpar will play
Game 8.
Auntie Tracy.
Ooh. I bet I get Joe.
Can you swirl them around?
Oh,
I'm
I won't-
joking. They're all around.
I've just got a feeling I'm going to get Joe. I don't know why. Ellie,
The
the zookeeper.
Marshall will face
Game 7.
her father, Uncle David, in game 7.
Wow.
That is 2 tough draws in a row for Ellie. She had Lewis in the second round of last year's tournament.
Not pleasing you?
And won a leg, let's not forget, on double 8. Shock to everyone, but Played well that game. Should have also maybe won 2 because she had 5 darts a double.
Kang.
Kang,
Superman.
The Superman. Woo!
What's that extra for? Because they're not.
It's just for technicality reasons.
If they can't come, it'll be a bye into the next round, whoever gets
Game
it.
3.
Lewis gets Kang, also known as a possible
I
bye.
don't want to buy.
Would you rather have a,
Because they won't get over here.
would you rather have a full-on game?
Yeah, I'd rather game than a bloody buy. That sucks.
I put King instead of Kang, but he is King, so.
That's a shame.
Alright. God, I didn't
I'm
know you
depressed now. Depressed.
Joe the Car Marshall.
Excuse me, trying to nick my...
Sorry.
Sorry. Every time I go to show it, he shouts out...
Stop showing me it then!
Just don't walk in the freaking...
Game 5.
Taking my job off me, I'm redundant.
I am against Joe for the 2nd year in a row.
That is a tough call, that. Charlie versus Joe.
It was round 1 last year, round 1 this year.
Charlie Joe faces the winner of Josh versus somebody. Right. The matriarch, Von Marshall.
The matriarch, the head mistress of the family.
Game 1.
Gets Granddad! I knew it!
I had that feeling. I had that feeling.
That was destiny. That was just destiny.
Only 2 games left.
So
Quietly,
Frankie's
if
opponent.
Frankie pulls Charlotte, me and Frankie could have buys into the quarters.
Yeah.
We'll just be facing each other straight away.
Again.
Yeah, again. The Chinese Dragon, Charlotte Marshall.
Game 6.
Me and you in the quarters, spies, mate. It looks like, unless they get there somehow. Oh shit, yeah. No, game 6.
1, 2.
6.
Who was 7?
No, we'll just do it how I do it because it's all.
Oh, have you been doing it that
Yeah,
way? Have you?
I'll
Oh, fair
do it
enough. That's
that way.
fine. That's fine.
Oh, who do I have then? Let's see what I have.
Oh no!
Uh oh.
We already know what it is anyway.
No, we're not quite.
This should be game 4,
Yeah, yeah.
and I can't remember who it should be.
Who have I got then?
So Frankie faces the Florida Flamingo anti-shell.
Game 4.
Wow.
I thought you'd got a bye with Lewis.
No,
No, I've got a
Josh has got a buy. If Charlotte can't come,
Oh, yeah.
because I've got Kang.
Yeah.
So Josh, what do you think of your draw?
Not happy, I wanted a game.
So I wanted a game.
Although that means if I beat Joe, I'm guaranteed to face Josh. Lewis, what do you think of your game?
At least it's not the first round I go out.
Yeah,
this year.
Frankie anti-shell. I don't know who will win that. Would be a decent game. I wish I had a first round match, but I don't. So
I'll swap with you. You can have Grandad.
I'll take the buy.
And due to how the scoring happens, Josh and Lewis are also guaranteed 40 points instead of the 20 points for going out in the first round. Grandma, what do you think of your draw? Can you...
No, I'll just say it from here. I am so disappointed.
Dave the Legend, what do you think?
She'll probably burn the toast.
Yeah.
Frankie, your opinion?
Beating you, yeah.
Oh, everyone's going. Shit again.
I'm just going to show the actual.
Okay,
thing,
congratulations to everyone in the
so
draw.
that is the draw. You can. It's upside down, isn't it? But... So to recap, Grandad faces Grandma,
I'll tell you what, this is next level.
and they will face in the same quarter in the quarterfinal either Uncle Ant or Lucas.
You know, I forgot I was the host.
Charlie faces Joe, and they will face either Josh or Charlotte in the quarters. I face Kang, whilst Frankie faces Auntie Shell. The winner of that obviously goes against each other into the quarters. And the last quarter, Uncle David versus Ellie will face the winner of Auntie Tracy versus Dad or Rick. Yeah.
Or Rick.
So, happy Christmas.
Rick the Stick. So, just to confirm the final draw and the bracket for this tournament. The first game will be Dave versus Yvonne, the legend versus the matriarch, the man of the family versus the woman of the family, the oldest man versus the beautifulest woman, the best cup of tea maker versus grandma.
Yeah, innit?
The second game will be Uncle Ant versus Lucas. That is a toss-up. I think Lucas could win that. I think Uncle Ant could win that. I think Yvonne will have to do a very good game to beat Grandad because he's so consistent on triple 19s. It's annoying.
Yes, I know, I will.
My man stands next to the ball.
And then the winner of them two will face each other in the quarterfinal.
My man is a beast. It's triple 19s.
Game 3 will be Lewis versus Kang, the Liverbird versus the Superman, the British citizen versus the Chinese citizen, my favourite person in the family versus Lewis.
You not supporting Liverpool, you dick?
And they will face the winner of Frankie Lador or Anti-Shell Shelley, the Florida Flamingo, Marshall.
Hey, you watch Kang be an absolute beast at darts.
Imagine. I think Lewis is obviously the heavy favourite to make it to the semi-final against either Dave, Yvonne and or Lucas.
It's gone.
However, Frankie could pull off an upset. We don't know how good Kang is. Kang might be Peter Wright, but Chinese, you never know. Doubt it, but you never know.
I get a lot of cramp.
Then it's the best quarter and the most difficult quarter to draw.
I get mine.
To predict, it is me, Charlie, the McRammy Marshall, versus Joe the Car Marshall. Rematch from the first round of last year where I beat Joe 2-0, 2 double-5 checkouts. I blew him away, but from what I've heard, Joe has improved slightly, so he might not get blown out the water. He might be 100 away from a checkout instead of 200 like he was last year.
Absolutely leathered, mate. I come up from a day session. I could barely even throw it at the board.
Barely even throw it at the board.
But he still won, though.
And then me or Joe will face the winner of Josh versus Charlotte. If Josh goes through and I go through, that will be a tasty quarterfinal. Me and Josh are, I think, the two best checkers out in the family.
Disagree. Josh is the best. You're about 8th.
8th?
I will put you in the top 5.
Check it out.
Yeah. Maybe not even in the top 6. I put Grandma the matriarch of you.
All right. Me and Frankie have won 5 games
look
in
at me in the eyes. Lucas has beat you 4 times out of 4. Deal with it. You twat.
3 times out of 3.
Carry on. Still lost though, didn't you? Lucas is the dark horse. I tell you. Go on, Lucas.
That will be a cracking game. And then it's the 4th quarter to face either me, Charlie, me, Joe, Josh, or Charlotte. In the semi-final will be Uncle David or Ellie, father versus daughter.
Can I bat your ear?
The Zookeeper versus the Bulldog. Howarth Timber Worker versus future Howarth Timber Worker. It's amazing.
Bad principal, Sam.
Bad principal, Sam. And then in the other game is the other Howarth Timber Worker. You may be thinking, is it Josh? It's Auntie Tracy. So, against Rick, the Toucan, Marshall. So that is the draw. What are your predictions?
Is that it?